Keith Recker and Nate Klaus led a balanced attack against Bristol in the semis Thursday night, 5 in double figures. The Russia Raiders broke out the squeegees and cleaned the glass in their win, pulling down 38 rebounds against White Oak. Russia had just 50 boys in their high school, and half of them play basketball. The Division IV title game is next.
Now, from the Ohio News Network and the Ohio High School Athletic Association, this is ONN's March Mania, where dreams become championships.
March Mania continues at Value City Arena in Columbus. It's the Division IV championship game between Delphos St. John's and the Raiders of Russia High School. Two teams that are about an hour apart in Western Ohio. Good afternoon to you. Tim Bray alongside the former Buckeye Ronnie Stokes. And I'll tell you what, Ron, this is going to be something. Delphos St. John's, they've got something to prove here this afternoon.
A difficult loss last year in a championship game against Tip City Bethel, giving up 31 points in that fourth quarter. They definitely have purpose and motivation this year.
All right, let's take a look at the road to Columbus for these two schools. And Russia is in the Sweet 16, beating Cedarville and knocked out South Charleston Southeastern.
Number one team in the state, got them here in the state semis against White Oak, down by 11 in that half, got a great third quarter to win that basketball game.
Delphos St. John's run started by knocking off Old Fort, then Holgate, and here in Columbus, the Blue Jays took out Bristol on Thursday night.
D for Delphos, D for defense, 21 turnovers in that basketball game they caused.
Well, Delphos St. John's, a lot to do here this afternoon, and a lot of pressure on them because of the girls winning here last week.
When talking to their coach, they said there's no pressure. In fact, it was a benefit. 2 trips down here to support their girls, and this year to try to win it for themselves.
And they have to beat Russia. Back with more in Columbus in just a moment. It's D4 coming up.
Discover Chillicothe first. We're Ohio's first capital and the place to see the home of Thomas Worthington, father of Ohio statehood. The place to see one of the nation's finest outdoor dramas, Tecumseh. The place to see a culture from another millennium, Hopewell Culture National Park. For history, fun, and entertainment, come discover us first. Come to Chillicothe, a gathering place, a principal town.
We cherish the small business owner at Grange Insurance.
This is my business.
We sell our business and life insurance through independent agents, and they're small business owners too.
I work as hard as I want to. I always want to work, and I work with who I want to work with.
Those independent agents can work with anyone they want to.
I can relate to my agent.
So we work hard at Grange Insurance to make it easy for them to recommend us to their customers.
The man said one word, Grange.
We love it when they say that.
Well, the most popular pizza is pepperoni.
That's a pepperoni house. That's a pepperoni house. They're all over, man.
It's a great tasting pizza.
We just put on the right amount of sauce. Perfect. And real provolone. And 100 pepperonis on every large.
That's over 400 pieces of pepperoni in this car alone.
Well, it is over 100, but we don't like to brag about it.
It's a wonderful pizza. It's a work of art.
Donato's half-price pizza deal. Buy any large pizza and get a second large single topping for half price.
Hey, you. Respect the pizza.
Back at Columbus at Value City Arena at the Schottenstein Center on campus at The Ohio State University as we have the Division IV championship game. Delphos St. John, their 11th trip to Columbus, and this season they are 20-6. They come out of the Midwest Athletic Conference. It is the MAC against Russia, who comes out of the Shelby County League, and they are 24-3. Now our national anthem here in Columbus. Both of these teams have had stellar years coming into this championship game in Division IV, and both have been led by some extremely talented players, Ronnie Stokes. And Delphos St. John, all you got to do with them is look to their big man inside and then one of their talented guards on the outside.
Well, Keith's record, outstanding game against Bristol, 17 points, almost perfect from the floor, going 6 of 7.
And Casey Klaus, who really lit it up on Thursday night from outside the arc.
Well, point you talk about, he 12 points in that basketball game in 23 minutes. Outstanding game. Knocked down one of 3 from the three-point range. Outstanding game.
And Casey Klaus has also got a cousin on the team. We'll talk about him later on. Let's look at Russia now, and they have got a young man who can also light it up from outside.
Very impressed with his outside ability, but he can get to the basket as well. At 17 points against White Oak, second on the team in scoring.
That's Jay Borchers, and also another young man. His name is also Borchers, and everybody looking at Dane now because he's 6'8".
Well, Jay's the second leading scorer. Dane is the leading scorer of this team coming in. 5 blocks per game, had a double-double against White Oak.
And Dane Borchers at 6'8". He needs 13 points for 500 for the season. Division IV championship game. We'll get you set for it when we come back.
I got a new job in a new city. I wanted to bank when and where it was convenient for me. Gary at National City took care of it. I've got ATMs everywhere, free checking, a Visa check card, and online banking. Gary understood me. But that's no surprise, because the people at National City don't see me like this. They see me for who I really am.
I'm Brian Spencer, and my bank is National City.
It's like a museum of natural history where you're allowed to touch the exhibits. Spend time with the kids, including the one inside you. You could three-putt all day and still get lots of birdies. When planning a meeting of the minds, remember the rest of the body. To make online reservations or get more information on any of the 7 Ohio State Park resorts, visit us at addapark.com or call 1-800-ADDA-PARK. The Ohio State Park Resorts, the natural choice.
Ohioans may soon be packing pistols. We talk about that, and they start all over again on school funding. It comes your way this week on Capitol Square.
And the Senate finally passes landmark campaign reform legislation. Will it cure the system or corrupt it? We'll ask Senator George Voinovich what he thinks. Join us this week.
On the Hill from the nation's capital and Capitol Square from Columbus. The Hour on the people, policies, and issues affecting Ohio. Right here on ONN.
Division IV final coming up. Boy, we had a tremendous Division II championship game. Roger Bacon beating Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's. And now we got the small schools. And this is one of the smallest schools in the state. Russia High School only has 50 boys in the whole school. 24 of them play basketball, Ronnie. And I tell you what, that's the 5th smallest public school in the state of Ohio.
When you think, if you've ever saw the movie Hoosiers,
yes,
it brings this to mind. You talk about only 50 boys. Most of them played a game of basketball for their school. And it's just an outstanding thing for them to be here.
Let's check the starting lineups brought to you by Donato's. And Delphos will start. Klaus and also Clark at the guards, Recker at center, Mike Anthony and Ryan Holgrave are the forwards. Nate Klaus, pretty good player.
He really is. I really like him, and I get a chance to see him, obviously, in the semifinal game. He's going to look to have a big game here today.
Averaging 14 points a game, 22 threes. Here's Russia's starting lineups. Gill and Borchers are the guards. Dane Borchers in the middle. Barthorst and Konder are your starters, and Drew Barthorst, he was kind of like an unsung hero on Thursday night.
Kind of like the X factor on this basketball team. Third on the team in scoring, but when he plays well, the team typically plays well.
So those are your starters for the Raiders and also for the Blue Jays. And Brett Norris, he's been here 2 other times and been denied. And I think all the seniors want to bring a championship trophy home to Delphos for Brett Norris.
Well, absolutely. He's a fiery player, all-time leading scorer at St. Francis of Indiana as a college basketball player. So he knows what it takes to get it done.
Yeah, and he was here last year, and several of these players too. Paul Bremigan, well, I'll tell you what. This guy is just a kind of salt of the earth. He's been there a long time, 18 years, never been here. He said when he was recruited to be and interviewed, he got lost going to Russia. He found the place. He was late for the interview and still got hired.
Well, he got it done this year. 24 wins. The team was 8th in the state at the end of the regular season, and just an outstanding effort again to get here. 50 boys. I mean, just listening to that is just outstanding.
If you look at Russia and the way it is spelled, you would think it's Russia. Well, it is actually pronounced Russia, and we talked to the head coach, Paul Bremigan, about that, the fact that it is Russia, not Russia.
People call you on the phone, and you say Russia, you don't say Russia. You say Russia, that way they spell it right, and you don't have to spell it. That's why when you call the school, they'll say Russia High School, but because they don't want you to get tired of spelling it. But that's been a big question this week, it seems like. But hopefully everybody will know how to say it, and they'll know we play pretty good basketball too.
They would love to rock your world, and Russia would love to do it here this afternoon against Delphos St. John. And well, he went to Otterbein College, and that school just brought a big trophy home to Columbus.
And he's a graduate of 1979 from Otterbein. He had a chance to read and follow that team this year with their championship. An outstanding effort by Otterbein. Just a lot of tradition there in that school.
They're getting charged up, and here are the officials. They come from Kettering, Cincinnati, and West Liberty. The three officials led by Lee Barlow from Kettering. He's the lead official this afternoon. The Blue Jays are in the dark uniforms this afternoon, and the gold, Russia. And as we say, it takes about an hour to drive from one school to the other. A lot of common opponents. These schools didn't play each other during the regular season, but they have had 4 teams from each of the conferences play each other, so they're very familiar with each other. And here we go. 8 minutes on the clock, and the tip is controlled by Russia to start this basketball game. Blue Jays start out in a man-to-man, and that is Borchers out on a wing, and a steal right away. This is Klaus. He will take it all the way and score it.
Just like they did in the semifinal game, all-out pressure the entire basketball game.
They believe that they left it on the floor last year here, and they have 2 players that started in the game, Recker and Klaus, as they were runner-ups in the state of Ohio last year in Division IV. They are here today as starters, and they would love to come back and win the championship for their coach. And there is a dribble drive that is no good by Kyle Gill, and the rebound cleared out there by Delphos St. John.
Kyle Gill did not score in that first basketball game here in the semis. Tried to take a nice move to the basket, came up a little short.
Talk about a skip pass. That's all the way across to Mike Anthony on the baseline. Lost it for a second, but there is a bomb by Brian Clark.
And starting out on fire, still on the score, and now a 3-point shot.
All the way in on a block shot. Barnhorst took it to the length of the floor, and it was knocked away by Keith Recker.
Well, the key for Russia is going to be ball control. Obviously, with the defense and the aggressiveness of Delphos St. John's, and outstanding save there to get the ball outside, and teammates nails it from the outside.
Good form from Brian Clark, and he knocks down the first 3 of the ball game. 5-0 start here as Russia will run their offense through the big man Borchers. He misses the shot, and Dane Borchers, who averages 18 a game, needs to start quickly. And talk about starting in a hurry. Beating everybody down the floor is Mike Anthony, knocked away though.
So he's their X factor for Delphos St. John's. He's one of those guys that plays the 3rd or 4th role for this basketball team, but very important with his skill level.
They will throw it all the way out into the backcourt, and Mike Anthony will go pick it up. Looking for the 3s of the Klauses. Inside, they'll go to Recker. Left-hander scores it.
See, it starts with the ball movement. You get the zone moving. That's how you beat it. Good inside pass for the score.
Very fast start for Delphos St. John. We played less than 2 minutes, and the ball knocked out of bounds by Nate Klaus.
Quick hands. Again, Nate came up with the steal to start the basketball game all over the floor here today.
3rd team All-Ohioan and Nate Klaus. Barnhorst looking for somebody to toss it into, and that is Kyle Gill in the backcourt. Russia will looking at the man-to-man, and they're counting them off. But Gill is only a junior, brings it across. They will feed it inside, and there's the first basket of the game. Dane Borchers scores it, and the 6'9" performer has Russia on the board 7-2.
Well, he demanded a double team in the game against Whitehall. He's so good inside, is in evidence in that move right there.
Well, Russia started slow against White Oak on Thursday night in the semifinals. They had to pick it up. They were down 11 at half, and they had a tremendous second half. They ran their entire offense to the big guy inside Borchers, and things started happening for them. And the ball is missed by Clark, and the rebound is off to Russia, and they're down the floor in a hurry. And Barnhorst could not hold on to the basketball, so Barnhorst is out of bounds, and it'll be Delphos St. John basketball.
Well, that's one way to beat a team that's good defensively is get them in transition. Nice looking pass, just coming up a little bit short there. Drew Barnhorst could not bring it down.
A little sticky for his fingers, so he can hold on to that Rawlings.
It's dangerous all over the court. The cameramen have to watch out next time.
Zone defense for the first time for the Raiders. Klaus picked up his dribble. Blue Jays are in blue as evidence of their color on their jersey, and they turn it over. First turnover of the ball game, and Nate Klaus just took one extra step.
Yeah, good intention though. That's where you beat the zone. You got to find the gaps, and he made a nice penetrating move, but failed to convert. Moved his feet too much.
Gill brings it up, penetrating, and it's tipped away. Quick hands for the Blue Jays of Delphos St. John. They will substitute for the first time in the ball game, and that is Casey Klaus coming into the ball game. 9.6 points per game. He had 12 in the semis, and he will be in for Holgrave, who sits out. Borchers, biggest young man in the tournament in Division 4, is 1 out of 3 from the field so far. Long pass down to Casey Klaus, who scored.
That's what it's all about, getting the rebound, keeping your head up, looking for your teammates. Someone forgot to get back for Russia.
Casey Klaus and Nate Klaus are cousins, and they're both on the floor at the same time right now, looking for backdoor. Gill doesn't take it. He will go to Borchers. Off on the baseline. The shot is no good. Barnhorst missed it. It was actually blocked. There's Klaus taking it all the way in, and just like on the game on Thursday night, Delphos St. John is really penetrating to the baseline.
I'm very impressed with their defense. I mean, they caused 21 turnovers.
We're going to take a break here to start this first quarter. We'll be back in just a moment. It's 11-2. Delphos St. John on the lead.
Well, the most popular pizza is pepperoni.
That's a pepperoni house. That's a pepperoni house. They're all over, man.
It's a great tasting pizza.
We just put on the right amount of sauce. Perfect and real provolone. And 100 pepperonis on every large.
That's over 400 pieces of pepperoni in this car alone.
Well, it is over 100, but we don't like to brag about it.
It's a wonderful pizza. It's a work of art.
Donato's half-price pizza deal. Buy any large pizza and get a second large single topping for half price.
Hey, you, respect the pizza.
Discover Chillicothe first. We're Ohio's first capital, and the place to see the home of Thomas Worthington, father of Ohio statehood. The place to see one of the nation's finest outdoor dramas, Tecumseh. The place to see a culture from another millennium, Hopewell Culture National Park. For history, fun, and entertainment, come discover us first. Come to Chillicothe, a gathering place, a principal town.
Weather forecast needs to be convenient, and it needs to keep you safe. Now, ONN gives you Doppler Net weather on the 10s, the most convenient and most advanced weather forecast in Ohio.
With Doppler Net, we tell you the precise minute a storm is going to strike your town.
Doppler Net is the only weather radar that can pinpoint a storm at street level anywhere in Ohio.
And it has the power to see inside a front to show you what's coming.
Doppler Net weather on the 10s, the most convenient and most advanced weather forecast in Ohio, only on ONN.
This Ohio Athletic Championship game is brought to you by Grange Insurance, your partner in protection. By Donato's Pizza, respect the pizza. By National City Bank. And by Lincoln Mercury.
I'm talking about the defense again by Delphos St. John. 8 points in the paint, most of that because they've gotten a lot of layups, 6 points in transition.
Russia Coming up and battling the full court pressure put on by Delphos St. John's. Kyle Gill breaks that pressure. And there's the first jump shot of the game by Jay Borchers, who is a little bit short. Looked like he didn't have much legs for that one, Ronnie.
Well, they got to get Dane Borcher involved in this offense.
He's trying to get, oh, nice play by Borchers. How about that? Dribbled the basketball off the leg of Brian Clark.
Very impressed with this young man, 6'8", but as he's showing here, quick hands and then the presence of mind to knock it off the defender.
Jay Borchers will bring it up. Looks like he got a haircut from Thursday night.
Yes.
Yeah, well, look
make
good.
him faster.
Yeah, make him faster. That's right.
Another turnover there by Russia. Again, just tremendous defensive pressure by Delphos St. John's.
Third turnover of the ball game in the first quarter here in the first 2 minutes. And now Delphos St. John's, who plays about 9 different players, will bring a couple of newcomers in the ball game, and Russia will bring Scotty Grogin in for the first time.
You know, that's not surprising, Tim. When you play that type of defense the way that Brett Norris has his team playing, you're going to need to have a team that has some depth, and they have that this year.
Well, Russia goes to the 2-3 zone. And they'll penetrate in the middle. That's Mike Anthony, and he lost it. Here is Grogin taking it all the way. It's knocked away by Delphos St. John. Russia holds on to it. What a block.
I think it was Holgrave hustling down the floor, showing some elevation there.
Grogin penetrating, has the lane, missed it. Just a little bit too much English on the basketball. Long pass down the floor to Klaus. He couldn't control it. Russia will get it back.
And the last miss there by Grogin going to the basket. And here's a hustle play by Holgrave. Now look, it appears that he has an easy layup, but out of nowhere, knocks it out of there.
Fourth turnover against Delphos St. John. Block shots with 3 of them so far. Delphos St. John gives one up there, though.
Blocking shots is part of their defensive sets there. You know, they get on the ball, but they can elevate and block shots as well.
Cordonier with his first basket of the ball game, averaging 10 a game. Cuts the lead down to 7. And a traveling violation called against Nate Klaus. So the zone defense by Russia has definitely affected the Blue Jays.
Yeah, you didn't want to play man-to-man against this team. They're so quick and move the ball so well. Great ball control, so they're trying to go to a 2-3 zone defense to slow them down a bit.
A lot of common opponents for these two teams. Delphos St. John's 3-1 against teams that have played against Russia, and Russia is 3-1 against teams that have played against Delphos St. John. As I say, they're about an hour apart in Western Ohio, but they never played during the regular year. Cordonier with a basketball at the high post. They'll go baseline with it, down the lane, and miss the shot. Barnhorse has had a tough start. Quickly, Clark bounces it back out on top of that. Holgrave with the 3. He hit 2 of them there on Thursday night, and it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Drew Barnhorst, according to the official.
And there's been about at least 2 or 3 opportunities that Russia had to score, but coming up short. And here's the tap here that the fans were not happy about for Russia.
From that angle, Barnhorst knocked it out. Casey Klaus over to Clark for the 3, and it is no good. Delphos St. John's makes 1 out of 3 3-pointers every game. Russia going to try to go to Borchers this time. And a nice pass inside. Condor puts it up and in.
Well, he's a pretty good passer, Dane Borchers. And again, that's what is important when you try to work your offense from inside to the outside. That's what it's all about, because you draw the defense in and you can make the nice pass to your teammates.
Very fast start for this Blue Jay team, but they have hit a drought. And that ball is out of bounds. Ostendorf missed the shot, and now another group of players back in the ball game. 4 changes, 2 for each side.
I thought that was a great time out there by Paul Brimingen, just to slow things down, get his team under control, and now they've gotten themselves back into this basketball game.
Baseball pass all the way down, maybe even a football pass, but it's picked off. A little interception. Klaus will go baseline inside to Anthony and lost control of it, and it is out of bounds. Last touched by the Delphos St. John Blue Jays.
Well, when you're playing in a championship game, you're going to sacrifice your body, as you saw Elsaw there, just diving on the floor. You may only get one opportunity to come here and win a championship.
Holgrave goes back out, and this time Ruschi will bring it the length of the floor instead of throwing that long home run ball. The Donner handling the rock. Barnhorst looking inside. They run a kind of a slide offense. There's a long bomb. It is no good. Rebound is batted away too, but Ruschi comes up with it. Orchards for the three.
Didn't hesitate. Didn't allow the defense to get set. Nice play there. Again, Ruschi's getting their opportunities, Tim.
11-9 now. 45 seconds to go. Long three-pointer is around the rim, and no. Keith Recker couldn't get it to go down.
There's the momentum. You can kind of feel it right now in the way of Ruschi.
Delphos St. John's went out 11-2, but they have not scored since the 4:17 mark.
I would imagine they're going to play for one shot here.
Barnhorst and Cadonnier outside. Jay Borchers with it. And that ball is almost knocked away, and it is. So now 13 seconds to go. Blue Jays will have a chance for the last shot of the quarter.
I'm sure that's not what Coach Brimingen wanted there. I mean, losing the basketball and then giving your opponent 13 seconds, a lot of time to get an excellent shot off.
Holgrave is back in the ball game. He's an excellent three-point shooter. Keith Recker will check out. He will play football at Hillsdale College. He's a middle linebacker for a pretty darn good Delphos St. John's team.
Well, athletes are athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, you get it done on the football field. You can come out and be a good basketball player at times.
Klaus. Here's the three. It is no good. 2 seconds left. Got to throw it up there, and they cannot get the shot off. Brian Clark had it on the rim. The rebound was St. John's, but they could not put it in. Delphos St. John's with a 2-point lead after 1 quarter of the Division IV state championship game.
It's rare to find a bank that works to save me money, but Mark at National City showed me that when I have my home equity loan payments deducted from my National City checking account, I'd actually lower my loan's interest rate.
I was single, low on capital, and starting my own company, but that didn't stop Elaine at National City from getting me what I needed. Now my business is growing, and Elaine is still my banker.
I got a new job in a new city. I wanted to bank when and where it was convenient for me. Gary at National City took care of it. I've got ATMs everywhere, free checking, a Visa check card, and online banking. Gary understood me, but that's no surprise, because the people at National City don't see me like this. They see me for who I really am.
I'm Brian Spencer, and my bank is National City.
I'm Linda Murphy, and my bank is National City.
I'm Robert Sanchez, and my bank is National City.
LASIK vision correction. This revolutionary outpatient procedure has been performed on thousands of Ohioans at the renowned Bloomberg Eye Center in Newark. For a limited time only, this LASIK surgery starts at $199 per eye. This amazingly affordable offer includes a complete examination, the surgery, and 1-year follow-up care. Our surgeons are board certified and fellows of the American Academy of Ophthalmology. Safe, professional, affordable. Bloomberg Eye Center.
A weather forecast needs to be convenient, and it needs to keep you safe. Now, ONN gives you Doppler Net weather on the 10s, the most convenient and most advanced weather forecast in Ohio.
With Doppler Net, we tell you the precise minute a storm is going to strike your town.
Doppler Net is the only weather radar that can pinpoint a storm at street level anywhere in Ohio.
And it has the power to see inside a front to show you what's coming.
Doppler Net weather on the 10s, the most convenient and most advanced weather forecast in Ohio, only on ONN.
There's more March Mania coming your way this evening at 5 o'clock. The Division III title game will be decided between Clear Fork and Bishop Reedy. It's only on ONN, where dreams become championships.
No, Delphos St. John is going ice cold from the field. 0-5 their last shots, all 3-pointers. And this is a team that only took 8 3-pointers in the entire game in their victory against Bristol.
The last 7 possessions, there's your breakdown. 5 out of 6. 1 turnover in the first 7 possessions. In the last 9, they go ice cold and turn the ball over.
And that's why Rushi's back into the basketball game.
So we start quarter number 2. Klaus with the basketball for the Blue Jays. This time it's man-to-man, even though they were trapping in the corners. Ryan Clark looking for the 3, and now they will launch a 3 from the side, and Casey Klaus missed it. A rebound comes out to Borchers, and he lost control of it for a minute. Ondar. Oh, he threw it up there. That was a pass. Here's a drive in the lane and a score.
One of the toughest calls in the game to make. Is a defensive player set, or is it a charge?
Elsaw would go with the bucket, but
Cordogna almost made the shot by himself, and here's a nice play inside there by Elsaw. Again, a tough call for the official to make.
Really, that's the first foul of the ball game. We went a whole quarter without a foul. Oh, rebound, stick back.
Yeah, Rushi's starting to get into breaks right now. They missed a lot of easy opportunities to start the game in that first quarter.
Rushi has a 2-point lead.
You see, they're changing their defense again. They came out in the second quarter in man-to-man. Now they've gone back to their zone.
Got to get rid of it. Klaus with it. Baseline to Mike Anthony. Casey Klaus to Nate Klaus. Bounce pass inside.
Excellent pass. Nate Klaus penetrating the defense from the top. I'm telling you, that's again finding your spots against the zone defense. First, you got to get it moving, and then you got to find the gaps, and that's what Nate Klaus did on that play.
Well, it takes a lot of intelligence from, and both of these teams have got that, but it takes some intelligence to recognize what the defense is doing, because Rushi has changed just about every time down.
Well, good coaches will do that, and you'll see them coming out of a timeout, coming out of a quarter change, changing the defense to try to confuse their opponents.
13-13 tie. Donnier lost it. Mike Anthony going to the hole.
Ah, nice. I mean, first you get the steal, Tim, but then the quickness getting by the defender with the layup.
So we seesaw back the other way. Second time the game has changed. Second lead change. Borchers going baseline with it for the Raiders of Rushi High School. But Donnier, what about that pass and a foul?
I don't know how Cordogna saw that. I mean, he's in the deep left corner of the floor. I mean, outstanding vision there by Cordogna. Left-handed pass there.
Rocketed it across. First foul on Klaus.
Rogin showing some hang time.
Yes, he did. He's a thin little guy, but he has got a lot of heart. And that's pretty much this whole team.
Yeah, it takes heart to be when you have that type of frame. I mean, it takes a lot of heart to penetrate, knowing that you're going to get the knocks. Reminds me of a pretty good player, Jay Burson, who played for the Buckeyes. I mean, fearless guy, sacrificing your body for the betterment of the team.
Rogin with his first point of the ball game at 4 on Thursday night. And count another one, so 2 for 2 for Scotty. And we're knotted again at 15.
And you see Rushi back into their zone defense.
Anthony double teamed. Somebody's open, and it is Klaus. Got it.
Good pressure on his own defense there. You make the shot out like that, and Klaus, I mean, he's really helped his team. I mean, outstanding point guard. It takes that kind of effort to help your squad.
And there he comes up with a steal, and he'll take it all the way. Coast to coast, he lays it in.
He had 11 assists in that game against Bristol.
5 in a row now by Delphos St. John's after Rushi had tied the ball game at 15 and actually taken the lead at 15-13.
And I got to go back to Nate Klaus. The defensive effort he had against John King, co-player of the year, really in his face the entire basketball game in that semifinal game.
Backdoor cut by Jay Borchers.
Nifty move. Hang time again by Rushi.
Well, these guys are laying it out now. Everybody is settled in. Long 3 by Recker is no good. And no blue shirts underneath the basket. And it comes down to the Raiders.
And that's one of the toughest things to do, Tim, is to rebound out of a zone, because you really don't have any man-to-man direct responsibility. So you have to find a guy and box him out.
The dribble drive is no good by Barhorst, who's had a difficult shooting day. Klaus in the lane, hangs, lost it. Just about hit that shot.
Well, here's the thing about being a point guard. I mean, being a good scorer makes you a better passer, because when you make your penetrating move, as Nate Klaus did there, Tim, the defense is going to converge, and that's going to allow you to make the good pass to your teammates.
Second team foul charged against Rushi. First one on Scotty Grosjean.
I really like him as a player.
And no legs in that shot by Nate Klaus, who shoots him normally at 74% from the free throw line. He has 7 in the game. And actually, Nate Klaus had 7 points last year in the championship game. Also had 4 assists in the loss.
There was 5 players that's on this team this year that played in the state championship last year. So a lot of guys have had the experience of playing in this type of situation.
Much better form that time. He has 8 points in the ball game and give Delphos St. John a 21-17 first half lead. Very good defense by Nate Klaus on Kyle Gill. And here's Borchers. Nice drive.
See, Record took a chance. He went for the steal. And if you don't come up with it, you're going to open up your defense. Dane Borcher took advantage of the play.
4.5 left to go first half. Record high post. Looking for the three is Nate Klaus, but he'll take that drive instead.
Just beautiful play again by Nate Klaus from the outside.
He's a determined young man with double figures now. He has 10. That's Gill. Rushi looking at the man-to-man, and they're running everything through Dane Borchers. Oh, he looks and he finds, and what a pass to Cardonier.
Well, when you're triple team, one of your teammates going to be open, but you got to be a good passer. Dane Borcher, again, 6'8", finding his offensive player above the defense.
Well, I think the Division I coaches are finding where Rushi is located. Look at that!
My.
Nate Klaus. Rainbow from 22. 13 points for Nate. It's a 5-point game. Delphos St. John's 26-21.
What a first half here by Nate Klaus. He only shoots 28% from the three-point arc. That's a long-range shot he took.
Whistle, traveling violation against Dane Borchers. Timeout on the floor. We've got 3:30 to go. We're going to step out. It's a 5-point lead for the Blue Jays of Delphos St. John's.
Discover Chillicothe first. We're Ohio's first capital, and the place to see the home of Thomas Worthington, father of Ohio statehood. The place to see one of the nation's finest outdoor dramas, Tecumseh. The place to see a culture from another millennium, Hopewell Culture National Park. For history, fun, and entertainment, come discover us first. Come to Chillicothe, a gathering place, a principal town.
Well, the most popular pizza is pepperoni.
That's a pepperoni house. That's a pepperoni house. They're all over, man.
It's a great tasting pizza.
We just put on the right amount of sauce. Perfect and real provolone. And 100 pepperonis on every large.
That's over 400 pieces of pepperoni in this car alone.
Well, it is over 100, but we don't like to brag about it.
It's a wonderful pizza. It's a work of art.
Donato's half-price pizza deal. Buy any large pizza and get a second large single topping for half price.
Hey, you, respect the pizza.
Auto insurance is not some do-it-yourself project.
I tried an 800 number I saw on TV.
It really takes sitting down with an expert who knows the ropes.
But like maintenance, it's who you know. And that's not someone that's thousands of miles away with a headset on, 5 people on hold.
Grange Insurance is only sold through independent agents, and we have to do a good enough job that the agent can look the customer right in the eye and say,
I sat down with my agent, told her my life story, and she said,
Grange is the best choice for your car.
She said Grange, and I'm real comfortable with that.
Delphos St. John's with the biggest lead of the game, 5 points, and a lot of it has to do with the play of this guy, Nate Klaus.
Well, you call him a point guard because he's the guy that's going to lead your team, getting it done with the layup, and then the outside shot. He's going to come up with the steal right there. Great anticipation, then the quickness to finish the play. And this is one of the favorite shots I saw here from long range, NBA range, nothing but the bottom of the net.
13 points so far and he's 6 for 6. And I'll tell you what, he wasn't even in the picture when he took that rainbow a minute ago.
Well, you know what? Why the point guard position is so important. I mean, the game against Bristol, he had 7 for 10 from the line. He had 15 points, 11 assists. He's having a tremendous impact on his basketball game.
And there he goes in the lane. And what composure not to draw the charge.
Oh, my goodness.
15 of the 28 points scored so far by the Blue Jays of Delphos St. John's. Borchers giving it up. Man-to-man defense for the Blue Jays. Barnhorst is going to have to get rid of it. He had 14 points in the semis. He's had a tough day so far. That's a nice shot by Jay Borchers. He has 7.
Well, he has that range. I mean, second on the team in scoring and has the ability to knock down those 15 and 20-foot footers.
Delphos St. John's leading by 5. Penetrating the zone. That's Wrecker on the baseline. Tried to use the window. Rushi comes up with a stop.
Again, Delphos playing man-to-man defense this entire game so far.
Barnhorst has not been able to get started. Condor goes down the lane, left stand. Rebound off to Delphos St. John.
Every shot is being challenged by Delphos.
Klaus. Oh, nice pass.
Pretty. And again, when you're a good offensive player, you bring so much attention and reverse move in the lane. Nice pass.
Right in front of us, diving on the floor is Casey Klaus.
Guys sacrificing their bodies.
Condor will inbounds. The thing about Rushi is they have to stem this 7-point lead. They need to make sure that they can get at least a bucket out of this possession as there's a change in the lineup. Ostendorf comes back in for Delphos St. John's, and Mike Anthony steps out.
Well, the key for Rushi again is keeping this lead in single digits.
Long pass and a foul.
See, that's where as Dane Borcher gets older and more mature, he's going to get strength and be able to finish a play like this. Nice anticipation to get the lob pass, drawing the defensive contact. But as he gets stronger, he's going to be able to finish that play.
6 points and 3 for 5 so far. And I think a lot of people, and especially some of the coaches that are in Value City Arena, like the fact that he's also a good passer. He has 2 assists here in the first half.
Well, he averages a double-double for the year, 18+ points, 10 rebounds per game. I talked about the way that he can pass the basketball, and there's likes of schools like Dayton and Toledo that are keeping an eye on a guy like him. I really like him as a player.
And he can put some weight on that frame, too. He's grown 3 inches since last year.
And probably not done.
I don't think so. Here's a long 3. It is no good. Casey Klaus couldn't get the ball in the hole, and so it'll be Rushi's basketball as they pull the board with 1.5 minutes to go. Jay Borchers tried to penetrate. He might have gotten in there too far. Whistle. Ball was on the floor, and a foul called.
Cordagna going for the steal, and actually might have saved the 2-point basket for his team. It appeared that had Delphos come up with the steal, they would have had the numbers going the other way.
Mike Anthony checks back in the ball game. He will be the inbounder, and out is Todd Ostendorf. The rotation is 9 players for Brett Norris.
I like that. I mean, you get everyone involved, and again, the way they play defense, they need to sub like that.
People watching in Western Ohio just say, yeah, typical MAC against Shelby County League game.
Yeah, Rushi tried to extend their defense, but again, Delphos ball handling, their ball control is just excellent.
32-25 now. Then we'll go to the big man inside. Ball knocked away. Last touch by the Blue Jays of Delphos St. John.
Again, when you look at Borchers, I mean, he demands attention inside, but he's a good passer, good anticipator. Every big man can't find his teammates like that.
First time I saw him play on Thursday night, I thought, boy, he looks like Len Mattel who plays at Bowling Green. He is big. He plays. and he's of course played his high school ball over in Maryville, Indiana. But and a guy like Dan Dockich, he's the coach of the Falcons. He loves guys like this, and he's a big 6'9" player, and you think about him. He's got long and lean, and Dane Borchers, he will fit that mid-major role perfectly.
Now, there's a couple guys on Brookhaven's team who will play in the state championship Division I that Dan Dockich has been able to get signed this year.
Recker missed that shot. Ruschi comes up with 35 to play, first half. Need a bucket out of this trip. Looking for the big man inside. Found a way to get it in.
That big basket at one point, they're down by 7, threatening to possibly get into double digits, and here they find themselves down only by 5.
10 seconds left. Klaus has had the hot hand. Nice spin move. He tried to get the ball to Anthony, lost it, and that is the end of 2 quarters of play. We have come to halftime. 32-27. Nate Klaus with a spectacular half. 17 points, perfect from the field, and he has propelled Delphos St. John's to a 5-point halftime lead.
She called last week. Margaret from National City. She'd noticed that I could earn more interest by transferring my savings account into a National City indexed investment account. Now, she didn't have to make that call, but I guess it's people like Margaret who make National City so different. Instead of seeing me like this, they see me for who I really am. I'm Pam Davis, and my bank is National City.
Is your life 24/7? Then you need North Coast PCS. Check this out. Unlimited local wireless calling any day, anytime for only $34.95 per month. That gives you over 43,200 anytime minutes for only $34.95. Plus, there's no credit check, no contract, no activation fee. Finally, a wireless service that makes it simple, affordable, and hassle-free. North Coast PCS. Call 1-866-GO-PCS40 today. Local service, endless possibilities.
Lasik vision correction. This revolutionary outpatient procedure has been performed on thousands of Ohioans at the renowned Bloomberg Eye Center in Newark. For a limited time only, this Lasik surgery starts at $199 per eye. This amazingly affordable offer includes a complete examination, the surgery, and 1-year follow-up care. Our surgeons are board certified and fellows of the American Academy of Ophthalmology. Safe, professional, affordable. Bloomberg Eye Center.
Why should you get your news from ONN?
ONN's Ohio's 24-hour cable news channel built to fit into your life.
ONN is convenient, ready anytime to fill your need for information.
And ONN delivers the news with the depth and Ohio perspective that only a 24-hour news network can. News is all we do.
Why get your news from ONN? Simple. It's the only channel built around your schedule and your life in Ohio. ONN. All Ohio. All the time.
You've been watching a replay of boys high school championship basketball here on ONN. Now we want to get you caught up on Ohio headlines and weather. New information this afternoon on a computer attack at Wright Patterson Air Force Base near Dayton. Computer hackers tried 125,000 times to crack Wright Pat's computer network, but were unsuccessful. The computer network at the base contains highly classified information. New security measures installed after September's terrorist attacks could help track down those responsible.
Essentially, an attack that is probing those security controls is akin to somebody coming around to every door and every window, peeking in, jiggling the handle, seeing if something's unlocked.
It's believed the hackers were operating from outside the U.S. Their purpose wasn't clear, but a base spokesman says it was one of the most orchestrated hacker attempts it's seen in the past 6 months. Despite Ohio's growing population, the number of state highway patrol officers remains constant. According to a Columbus Dispatch report, the state highway patrol hires just enough troopers each year to replace those who resign or retire. That's been the trend since 1974. Yet Ohio's population has increased 7% in the last 28 years, along with the number of registered vehicles rising by 75%. Right now, the State Highway Patrol has about 1,400 uniformed officers at about 55 posts. Prison officials say drugs are still a problem in Ohio's prisons. Since 1995, 8 Ohio prisoners have died from drug overdoses. State Prisons Director Reginald Wilkinson says occasional deaths are almost unavoidable. Wilkinson says prisoners often devise plots to get drugs inside once they're in the system. He advocates a zero-tolerance drug policy, but acknowledges that his goal is unachievable. Healthcare workers suspected of abuse or neglect of developmentally disabled patients rarely get punished. That is the center of an investigation in today's Cincinnati Enquirer. The report says in some cases, facilities even paid workers to leave. 18 people received $150,000 to leave their jobs since 1997. State officials told the paper they cannot always fire workers because of civil service rules. The investigation says the state's law enforcement system routinely fails to investigate and punish offenders. Ohio farmers want Washington to get involved in their push for support of ethanol and other biofuels. Farmers say concerns over pollution and rising gas prices should help their goal. They want legislation to create subsidies and markets for biofuels. Ethanol comes from the fermentation of sugars from corn and other crops. Its primary use is a gasoline additive. Farmers want to capitalize on the attention ethanol has received in recent months. And Akeisha Moore joins us now with a look at your Doppler net weather forecast.
Well, Tiffany, we do have some clouds around the state today and the possibility of some snow as well as for some showers across the state. As we look at the satellite and radar, as of about noon, you do see some snow across the northern parts of Ohio as well as some mixed precipitation. But as we check out the forecast highs for today, your temperatures anywhere from the lower 40s to mid 50s. 51 the forecast high for Columbus, 53 for Cincinnati, 55 for Portsmouth, and you see lower 40s towards the northern parts of Ohio. If you're going to be traveling around the region today, well, you do see kind of a mix of temperatures here. 39 for Detroit, 46 for Pittsburgh, but look at Raleigh-Durham, 71 degrees there, 70 for Nashville, and 52 for St. Louis. As we look at Futurecast and put it into motion by 6:30 tomorrow morning, as of today, we do have a stationary front across the state, but you see kind of a mix of temperatures here also. 23 for Detroit, but look at Indianapolis, 32 there, and 49 for Raleigh, 51 for Nashville. So you can see where we have the warmer air. And we also, by 4:30 tomorrow on your Monday, temperatures basically staying in the 30s around Detroit as well as for Indianapolis, but you also see 53 for Pittsburgh. Tomorrow across Ohio, your temperatures anywhere from the mid 30s to upper 40s. We also have that possibility of some snow across the state for tonight, and we also have the winter storm watch out for late tonight into tomorrow for the counties shaded in blue. The possibility of a total accumulation of 3 to 8 inches across these areas by late on your Monday. Back to you, Tiffany.
Thanks to Keisha. Enjoy the rest of today's high school basketball championship action right here on ONN. We're all Ohio, all the time.
Welcome back to Columbus and Value City Arena. Division IV final. Blue Jays and the Raiders here. And I'll tell you what, so far, it was a very quick start for Delphos St. John's, Ronnie, in the first quarter. And then Russia got it together after that timeout.
Well, we talked about this off the air. They go into that zone defense. I think that was a turning point in this ball game in the first half.
Looking at the statistics so far, it's 11 out of 13 two-point field goals for the Delphos Blue Jays, and they've hit 3 threes, and that's a factor. Look at the fast break points in the ball game. That's a big factor too, and points in the paint.
And a lot of that comes from the turnovers, and turnovers will lead to points, and that's what they did here in the early part of this game.
Well, they went right to the big man, and Borchers inside. He had 8 points in the first half. Rushi's big man.
He had the double-double in the game against White Oak, and he's getting it done here in the first half with 8 points. And here's Pradanya, had 11 rebounds in the game in the semis against White Oak, doing it with his offense here in the first half.
But the man is Nate Klaus. 17 points in the first half, inside and outside.
He has been the go-to guy for Delphos St. John's, the point guard. Outstanding year, outstanding state run here so far for the young junior.
Two teams will start the third quarter like they started the first quarter. Starting lineups on the floor, and it's a man-to-man for the Blue Jays, and Borchers steps out and hits the 15-footer, baseline left. 10 points for Dane Borchers, and it's a 3-point game. They quickly run a play to him, and that's exactly what happened on Thursday night. Ruschi went out and they ran a play right out of the halftime, and that's why they were able to ignite and cut that lead down from 11.
Well, they were down 11 points at half in the semifinal game, and they scored the first 5 points of the third quarter. They're starting this half trying to play some defense, but too much hands on that play.
Jay Borchers with his first.
And, you know, you talk about how important that third quarter is. When you're down by double digits like that, the first couple minutes of that third quarter will tell whether you're going to be in the game or maybe get blown out. And Coach Brimingen talked about that. He gave his team a message. Either we come out and play defense and rebound, or we're going home.
They didn't want to go home.
No, they didn't.
And this small school from Shelby County just keeps on going. Record, by the way, with 4 points as he hit from the other end, and now another 3. It is no good. Borchers with a rebound, and he is undercut, and he will be fouled by Mike Anthony.
6'8", has the agility. He elevated for that rebound and a missed shot by his teammate.
Actually, Recker with the personal foul and not Anthony. They were both there. You could give it to either one of them. First team foul, second half. But when was the last time that you saw a basketball game with just 6 fouls in a half? That was our first half. Only 6 fouls, 3 apiece.
Well, there's a bunch of turnovers there in that first half. So, you know, you have turnovers, you don't have the fouls. They combined 16 in the first half.
Borchers with some agility inside. He now has a dozen, and it is again a 3-point game, 34-31. Delphos St. John's, they have the basketball and the lead. Long bomb is no good by Klaus. Rebound still with Delphos St. John, and Mike Anthony will go to the line after the whistle.
How about the no-look pass by Brian Clark? I mean, I didn't think he could get the ball through the legs of Ruschi.
Rogin with his second personal foul and the second team foul.
There's a quick hitter there by Dane Borcher.
He's working in the paint, no question. Mike Anthony with his first free throw of the day. He has 7 points, a 78% free throw shooter, and those are his numbers for the day. Second one is also good. Give him 8 in the ball game, and a change in the lineup. That is Kyle Gill checking back in. Didn't score in the first half, but he is the point guard on this Ruschi team.
You talk about Anthony shooting 78% from the free throws. One team that really knows how important free throws are is Ruschi. I mean, they were 19 for 19 in that win, and that over the #1 team in the state.
Klaus is going to be fouled at midcourt. He was battling Gill for the basketball, and Kyle Gill, a little frustration foul right there. Second team foul of the half.
This is a game of emotion. Quick hands by Klaus. But again, man, you're saving a basket there by making the foul, so maybe not too bad of a call.
Ryan Clark with the left hand, missed it. Rebound, Dane Borchers. Long pass up the floor. Jay blocked out of bounds. Brian Clark running the floor coast to coast, got the mid on it.
I think that's block number 6 for Delphos as a team. Again, why they're so good defensively.
Boy, they have tremendous hands. And just think about it, Brett Norris didn't even get this Delphos St. John team until 2 weeks after the basketball season started because they all play football. Rebound off to Holgrave.
And as a basketball coach, you're hoping and praying that no one gets injured there in the last football game of the season.
Recker can't control it, got it back. Cadonier came up with it, feeds it off to Jay Borchers, lost control, out of bounds, last touch by Delphos St. John. 2 officials will convert. Well, no, they're going to say Delphos St. John touched it last.
I'm not sure. It looked like it was deflected or it was a block. I'm not sure about that one, Tim. From our angle, it looked like it was a block.
Maybe we ought to go with a super slow-mo. Ostendorf checks back in the lineup. and Brian Clark will sit out. He has 3 points in the ball game.
We'll always have the human element when you have officials out there. I mean, they can't make every call right.
Klaus with his 4th steal of the game. Nate Klaus at 17 in the first half. Baseline shot is no good, and Dane Borchers could not control, and Delphos St. John's will get it back.
And the boards were pretty even there in the first half. 14 for Russia and 12 by Delphos St. John.
36-31. Long shot is no good, and that's Casey Klaus, and now we got a foul on the rebound.
Well, Dane Borchers is starting to make a presence felt on the inside, going in for that offensive rebound. Just one and done there for Delphos.
Well, if anybody's in foul trouble, it's Ryan Holmgrave. He will step out. He has 3 personal fouls, and the 13th foul, or second team foul on Delphos St. John's here in the 3rd quarter.
Holmgrave was big from the outside, going 3 or 4 from beyond the arc against Bristol.
Full court pressure by the Blue Jays. Donier's going to room it up himself. It's the man-to-man with Mike Anthony right on top of him. It's going to take it in, feed it off down low. Whistle, foul called, and that is Danny Elsaw will go into the free throw line.
No, 2 good plays by both teams, and how Cordonier handled the pressure, and then here he comes down the lane making a nice pass to Elsaw. Drawing the contact, will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Mike Anthony with the personal, his 2nd, and the 3rd team foul on the Blue Jays. Elsaw with 3 points in this basketball game. Change of the lineup with Brian Clark back in for Delphos St. John's. Mike Anthony will step out.
You know, anytime you see a good defensive team, you know, hats off to the coach, because it's something you got to get 5 guys on the floor buying into that, and that's just not something that happens overnight.
Second one no good. Borchers with a rebound, and it's knocked away and stolen by Klaus. Blue Jays on the run. Brian Clark, oh, it rolled right over the rim. And did he get the timeout called? I think he did. Yes, he did. They will award the timeout, and a heads-up play by Russia to hold on to the basketball. Timeout on the floor, and I believe it's going to be a 30.
Yeah, Grosjean, he was able to wrestle down that basketball, and then he felt himself falling out, had the presence of mind to make the timeout call.
Well, certainly Delphos St. John's trying to go with a clean sweep here this weekend, because last weekend the girls won the state championship in Division 4, and head coach Brett Norris addressed that with the girls win last week. Is there pressure to win today?
We're really happy for our girls, and we hope to, I guess it wouldn't be history because it's been done before, but it'd be a special accomplishment for our school. We hope to certainly win it and follow their lead, but at the same time, I don't know that we felt pressure. I think win or lose, whatever our girls would have done, we would have wanted the title very badly and probably put the same amount of pressure on ourselves.
Talk about title time. Won it in '83 and also in 1949. Runner-up last year. Delphos St. John was also here in '98, '73, and '54. Shot rejected. Cordonier found a way, and he will find a way to the free throw line.
And you talk about that tradition, and Coach Norris talked about that. Success breeds success, and these guys, and especially in the last 8 to 10 years, they feel and have the expectation that they can get to the state finals every single year. That's very impressive.
And then you have Russia, who has only 50 boys to pull from, and it's not often when you have a 6'9" guy in the middle. And that's and I know Coach has been talking to us about, well, what do you do with a 6'9" player? You post him every time.
Well, you start your offense and you revolve it around him. And again, that's why you see the development of Dane Borcher, because he has a nice frame. You don't really see too many guys 6'8" or above at the Division 4 level if you go across the state. But Dane Borcher's really developed into a pretty sound basketball player.
2-point game. Cordonier hit a couple of free throws, and we're under the 5-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Delphos St. John looking at man-to-man this time down. Brian Clark, the left-hander, Here's Klaus in the lane. Shot was changed and partially deflected by Borchers.
The 6'8" guy inside. I mean, again, demanding a presence.
Daniel, a little give and go, and Borchers has tied the basketball game.
You can see it swinging. Again, Russia team down by 11 at the half in the semi game. Came out and had a phenomenal third quarter.
Delphos St. John's with record, teeing it up. Count it, it's a 2.
They needed that basket. I mean, you can definitely feel the momentum swinging in Russia's favor.
Recker has half a dozen points so far. Daniel. Again, they go inside, but this time it is picked up. Ostendorf lost it.
Oh, no.
Called for charge. Borchers. No, I take it back. Borchers got the call on Ostendorf.
One of the toughest calls in the game. Was he moving? Like he's moving to me, going to his left.
Wow, what a call. That is the first foul on Ostendorf. And Russia is down 2 to Delphos St. John's, last year's runner-up.
Well, the most popular pizza is pepperoni.
That's a pepperoni house. That's a pepperoni house. They're all over, man.
It's a great tasting pizza.
We just put on the right amount of sauce. Perfect and real provolone. And 100 pepperonis on every large.
That's over 400 pieces of pepperoni in this car alone.
Well, it is over 100, but we don't like to brag about it.
It's a wonderful pizza. It's a work of art.
Donato's half-price pizza deal. Buy any large pizza and get a second large single topping for half price.
Hey, you, respect the pizza.
The change in seasons brings great vacation rates and packages to any one of the Magnificent 7 Ohio State Park Resorts. Enter a state of mind without leaving the state you're in. Enjoy modern accommodations, great dining experiences, and recreation, only a vacation away. To make online reservations or get more information on any of the 7 Ohio State Park Resorts, visit us at attapark.com or call 1-800-ATTAPARK. The Ohio State Park Resorts, the natural choice.
Discover Chillicothe first. We're Ohio's first capital and the place to see the home of Thomas Worthington, father of Ohio statehood. The place to see one of the nation's finest outdoor dramas, Tecumseh. The place to see a culture from another millennium, Hopewell Culture National Park. For history, fun, and entertainment, come discover us first. Come to Chillicothe, a gathering place, a principal town.
This Ohio Athletic Association championship game is brought to you by Grange Insurance, your partner in protection. By Donato's, respect the pizza. By National City Bank. And by Lincoln Mercury.
Delphos had a lot of success in the first half, scoring in the paint. 20 points in the first half they scored in the paint. Here in the third quarter, goose egg.
And Nate Klaus has not scored here in this third quarter either after going 7 for 7 to start the game, and we are tied again.
I like the pump fake there by Cordonier. Caught the defense sleeping.
Cordonier puts his 13th point on the board. Delphos St. John looking at a 2-3 zone this time, and there's a steal. Bad pass by Delphos St. John, and Borchers comes up with it. Long three is no good. I thought Barthorst might be able to get that one. Mid-court foul. Charge. Casey Klaus with his first personal foul. 15th foul on Delphos St. John in the third quarter.
Well, Jay Borcher was definitely there. I think that was an easy call to make there. Klaus leaving his feet. And when you leave your feet, you run out of options.
Tied at 38. Russia has never led here in this third quarter. Remember, they were down 11-2 to start the game. Outscored Delphos St. John after that 23-21. Delphos St. John's has turned the ball over 3 straight times. Their last 3 possessions. Klaus looking ahead. He did get the steal. And here he comes. 2-on-1. Blocked by Dane Borchers. No foul. That's going to be 3. He was outside the arc.
Cordonier, smart and heady play there. He knew that he had the defensive player off his feet, kind of leaned into him a little bit to draw the contact. Here's a block by Dane Borcher. And then the thing that Klaus did there, he showed the ball to the big fella. You got to shield it. He has an easy block for Dane Borch. You got 6'8" going against 6'1".
Verdonier at the free throw line will have 3.
See, Tim, when you go against some big guys, you don't want to show them the basketball.
First lead since it was 13-11, and that was back in the second quarter.
I guess Rushi's a third quarter team.
And they're going to shoot the rest of the way. They actually only gave him 2. Was his foot on the line? I take that back. I thought he had deserved 3 there. But the officials, I believe, said he was foot on the line, so he only got 2 shots. Ryan Clark off the record. Missed it. Dane Borcher to the rebound.
Again, one and done there. Dane Borcher continues to show his dominance inside.
8th rebound. Great pass down low baseline. A little fadeaway by Barnhorst. And that is 4 straight for Russia, and they have come to life here in Columbus. An 11-2 run.
Wow, Barnhorst, third on the team in scoring, took the feed. Nice, that's one of the toughest shots to make there. About 5 feet are in. You bank it off the glass and you shoot it straight in. He chose the latter.
Dane Borchers has 6 points here in this second half. He has 14 for the ball game. Let's take a look at how he has contributed.
From long range, the big fella, 6'8", showing he can get it done outside as well. Here it is, taking it inside. Watch the agility. I mean, here to catch the pass, avoid the defenders, finish the play.
Dane Borchers has scored 501 points now on the season. He needed 13 this afternoon to go over 500, and he has 14 for the ball game. Second team All-Ohio, and he is a fine athlete. Delphos St. John's in their last 11 possessions have only scored on 2 of them. Ryan Clark looking at that active zone. This is Nate Klaus. Shut out here in the third quarter. Long pass over on the wing. Casey Klaus. Verdonier was on him. Here's Nate. Whistle. Hand check. Reach in. And it's on Scotty Gogin.
Now he's trying to find Klaus out. He's so important to this team. When I talk about Nate Klaus, you know, he had 17 of the Delphos St. John's 32 points in the first half. So needless to say, if you want to try to shut them down, you have to find a way to shut Nate Klaus down.
That's Casey Klaus with it, and Brian Clark playing pitch and catch. Mike Anthony, and now Recker, whistle, and a hold. Is that on Scotty again?
Well, six total fouls were called in the first half. A little different story here in the second half. 4th personal foul on Gogin, and he will have to step out. And Elsaw will be back in the lineup, averaging 3.4 points a game, and 3 points to his credit this afternoon. Nate Klaus looking out to Casey. Long 3 is off the mark, no good. Verdonier with a rebound. And Dane Borchers hold on to it. It was 17 points and a 42-38 lead by Russia. Bounce pass. Oh, nice play. The quick hitters again. The long pass there by Verdonier. Heads up play because he realized that he was fighting against a 10-second call. He moved the ball up the floor and a quick hitter against Delphos St. John.
Barnhorst with 4 points. Clark lost it. Almost a steal. And Nate Klaus will come up with it. You know, it's often said that the Midwest Athletic, the MAC, plays the more physical style. I'll tell you what, Russia's playing pretty physical here in this third quarter.
See, Klaus got to penetrate. I mean, that's what he did in the first half.
Jay Borchers catches, finds a teammate. Elsaw with the lay-in.
Well, just 4-on-1. Delphos St. John's not getting back.
Largest lead of the game for Russia, and Mike Anthony kisses it off the glass, and he'll go to the line for the conventional 3-point play opportunity.
Boy, did they need that basket. Definitely the momentum is in the favor of Russia. Penetrating move, trying to challenge Dane Borchers on the inside.
So everybody's kind of going, okay, well, let's catch our breath here. Dane Borchers goes out of the game with his first foul.
What a difference between the third quarter by Russia compared to their first quarter in this game.
When in doubt, Mike Anthony, give him time, right? Mike Anthony with 11 points.
Well, I talked to Coach Birmingham about what did he tell his team in the half against White Oak. And he said he gave us some simple instruction, but he didn't say how loud he gave those instructions.
Nice pass, nice delivery, and Barnhorst has another short jumper for a hoop.
I would imagine he gave him the same instruction this half against Delphos St. John.
Largest lead, 7 points for Russia. There's a long three. It's in and out, no good. Last touched by the Blue Jays. Nate Kloss just has lost his touch here in this third quarter. He has been shut out so far, and Dane Borchers will check back in. He got about 30 seconds, and that was it.
Well, that last one was halfway down, and it came back out. And you look at Klaus, he's struggling because he see that the pressure that Baruch is definitely finding him out on the perimeter. As I mentioned, he needs to do a better job of getting into the interior defense of Russia.
Steal, shot, 2 seconds left, and now 1 second left here in this third quarter. They'll get it back. Russia has 4 consecutive field goals. 4 out of the last 5 possessions they have scored. And now they're going to try to throw the baseball pass again to Borchers. It was knocked away, and that's the end of the quarter. So Russia goes and just takes over like they did on Thursday night in the third quarter. Dane Borchers, 6 out of 8 from the field. Russia 21-9 in that third quarter. Back with the fourth and final quarter of action in a moment.
With Grange Insurance, we strike a balance.
I don't want to insure my house through some cold, distant corporation.
We have rural roots.
But I don't want some fly-by-night company that hasn't been doing this for a long time.
Yet we're large enough that we can handle this area's worst disasters, and we've been at it since 1935.
My agent recommended Grange for my house.
The independent agent can recommend anyone. So Grange strives to be easy for both the customer and the agent to work with.
My agent said the best choice is easily Grange.
It's that simple.
Lasik vision correction. This revolutionary outpatient procedure has been performed on thousands of Ohioans at the renowned Bloomberg Eye Center in Newark. For a limited time only, this Lasik surgery starts at $199 per eye. This amazingly affordable offer includes a complete examination, the surgery, and 1-year follow-up care. Our surgeons are board certified and fellows of the American Academy of Ophthalmology. Safe, professional, affordable. Bloomberg Eye Center.
The Ohio News Network, Ohio's channel for news with the time it takes.
ONN wasn't made to cover news just like everybody else.
Being 24 hours gives us time to tell the story.
ONN is a true news network dedicated to cover Ohio.
ONN can do what no other news organization can. We can bring Ohioans any event or any breaking news story live anytime.
We've got 24 hours every day, and we make the most of it.
Ohio's channel for news when it happens with the time it takes. The Ohio News Network.
More music, more variety. The new 97.1.
Want to relive March Mania? Catch the replays of all 4 of today's championship games beginning at 12:30 tomorrow on ONN. The Division II game will replay first, followed by the Division IV game, our game, and Division III, and also Division I. It's March Mania on ONN, where dreams become championships. Well, Drew Barnhorst is the man in the third quarter. Now with 6 points, he was held scoreless at the half.
I mentioned he's third on the team in scoring, very valuable to his teammates, and he's getting it done. 6 points, although just 3 of 11 from the field. But those points are very valuable here today.
Crunch time for Delphos St. John if they want to come out of here with a title like the girls. A year ago, they folded in the third quarter, and they were outscored by Tip City Bethel 17-6. And that is an answer for that.
Oh, Brian Clark from long range. Delphos St. John's had 5 players in double figures in their semifinal win. Just one guy in double figures in the first half, and that was Nate Kloss. The teammates got to get involved in the offense.
Elsa missed it. And the significant part about the Blue Jays is that Ruschi scored 21 of the 30 points in that third quarter. Here's Mike Anthony from long range, and it was saved. No, it was good effort, but can't saving it is Brian Clark, and it'll be Ruschi's basketball.
And Nate Kloss was perfect from the field in the first half, going 7 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. But here in the second half, 0 of 5 from the field.
There's your 3-point field goals, 4 of 18 for Delphos St. John's. And Ruschi is going to take a timeout as they lead by 4 here in the fourth quarter, deciding the gold trophy of the Division IV state championship game. And it's really critical for Delphos St. John. I mean, they really were bothered by last season, and they didn't talk about it much during the year, but there's no question the run back here to the title game started with the runner-up trophy being presented last season.
What he talked about, they put the pressure on themselves because of the expectation. They knew what they could accomplish this year if they were always on the same page. They definitely do not want to have the same type of second half that they had last year in the state championship game.
Well, beginning in April, ONN will bring Ohio sports fans Ohio State baseball. Watch the Buckeyes starting April 7th as they take on Penn State. Don't miss a minute of OSU baseball on the channel for OSU sports. Visit ONNnews.com for a schedule of televised games. Back to action with 7 minutes exactly left to go in the fourth quarter. We played 1 minute.
The Delphos need turnovers. That's why they got the momentum in the first half, by creating some points for themselves in transition.
Inside they go to the big fellow, Orchards. That is Elsa missing the shot. Rebound still in the possession of Ruschi, and I think they're going to get Holgrave for the foul.
With the reach, second opportunities. Just finding the ball. Again, just having the presence of mind there. There was Barhorse again coming up with the loose ball and drawing the contact.
Barhorse will go to the free throw line, averaging 10.2 points per game. 1 down and 1 to go. 6:42 left, and another set of players checking in the lineup for Delphos St. John. And one of those checking out is Ostendorf. 5-point game now.
When you win a championship, obviously Ruschi has a chance here. Maybe it's not your first and second leading scorer. It could be a guy like Barhorse coming into this game, or I should say this final, and third leading scorer on the team, but making his presence felt here today.
Long range bomb by Clark is no good. So Delphos St. John has been launching threes here. That's their 19th attempt. And a steal by Clark. Nice behind the back, 2-on-1. Here's Anthony, and there's going to be a foul called, but that was very close to being a walk.
But there's a difference, though, Tim. They got the ball from the turnover quickly down the floor. Give Ruschi credit because they have limited the turnovers here in the second half.
First foul on Barnhorst and 15th foul against Ruschi. They came in as the 8th ranked team in Division IV. Delphos St. John has been hit, just changing their plan a little bit here, Ron, here in the third quarter.
Well, this is a team, they only took 8 3-pointers in the game in their win against Bristol. Here they are. I mean, they took a total of 12 in the first half against Ruschi.
And 6 of their last 7 field goal attempts have been outside the arc.
They relied on it. Unfortunately for them, they're not making the shots from outside.
4-point game. Barhorse took it all the way in. But Danye missed it, but he's going to the line.
He's creative. I mean, I really like him. I mean, he does the little things. I mean, a little pump fake, get the defender off the floor, and there you go right there. I mean, nice play, drawing a contact. That's the second time he's done that in this basketball game. It takes a knack to being able to do that because if you don't do it the right way, you can be called for the offensive foul.
Gadonyer at the free throw line is perfect today. He has 14 points, and he is 4 out of 4 at the line. Actually, they've given him 15, now 16 points. So it's a 6-point game. Russia with a lead. 6 minutes to go. They sit back there in that 2-3 zone, and Delphos St. John's has been only taking outside shots. Boy, there's a cross-court pass and the bucket from 3-point range. Casey Klaus with 5.
Well, the one thing about taking outside shots, if you start to make them, you can quickly get yourself back into game, especially if they're 3-pointers.
Onyur lost control of the basketball. Delphos St. John's will take over.
Still a lot of time to be played in this game. As you see, 5:38 and counting. Just down by 3 against Russia here in the second half.
Delphos St. John playing for the 3rd time under Brett Norris for the championship. Ryan Clark with a little bit of space in the paint. Got it.
Finding the gap against the 2-3 zone, right down the gut of the defense of Russia.
1 point separates these two teams, who are separated about an hour apart in Western Ohio. And here at Value City Arena, playing for the title, the Division IV title. Dane Borchers created in the lane as he went after that one.
And the one thing about Delphos St. John's defense, you can see it's picked up a little bit since they've gone on this scoring surge. They're making their outside shots. Very frustrated right there with the call by the official.
Dane Borchers missed for the first time today. First foul of the game on Keith Recker, and checking in is Gogene. So Gogene is back in the ball game for Russia, and Borchers, who has only missed once, and he now has 15 points.
Now, Gogene is key off the bench for Coach Grimmingham.
So here we go. The 2-point game. Russia with a lead. That is for the lead.
It was a 2-point game.
Wow.
A big play by big player Nate Claus from outside.
First basket of the second half, and a whistle. Timeout by Russia. Delphos St. John has stormed back on an 8-1 run.
It's a game of runs. It's a game of runs.
I think we've got the answer from last year that Delphos St. John does not want the same outcome. We'll be back in just a moment at Value City Arena.
Well, the most popular pizza is pepperoni.
That's a pepperoni house. That's a pepperoni house. They're all over, man.
It's a great tasting pizza.
We just put on the right amount of sauce. Perfect and real provolone. And 100 pepperonis on every large.
That's over 400 pieces of pepperoni in this car alone.
Well, it is over 100, but we don't like to brag about it.
It's a wonderful pizza. It's a work of art.
Donato's half-price pizza deal. Buy any large pizza and get a second large single topping for half price.
Hey, you, respect the pizza.
Discover Chillicothe first. We're Ohio's first capital, and the place to see the home of Thomas Worthington, father of Ohio statehood. The place to see one of the nation's finest outdoor dramas, Tecumseh. The place to see a culture from another millennium, Hopewell Culture National Park. For history, fun, and entertainment, come discover us first. Come to Chillicothe, a gathering place, a principal town.
Ohioans may soon be packing pistols. We talk about that. And they start all over again on school funding. It comes your way this week on Capitol Square.
And the Senate finally passes landmark campaign reform legislation. Will it cure the system or corrupt it? We'll ask Senator George Voinovich what he thinks. Join us this week.
On the Hill from the nation's capital and Capitol Square from Columbus. The Hour on the people, policies, and issues affecting Ohio. Right here on ONN.
Talk about support. The Delphos St. John's state champion girls team here supporting the boys in their run. They won last week, and they're trying to make it a clean sweep here this afternoon, and they have got back in the ball game from long range. First, Casey Klaus will set up 3, and then Nate for the lead.
From one corner to the outside, Nate Klaus and Casey Klaus combined averages over 23 points per game.
quickly. Ruschi into the front court. Foul called, and it will be against Keith Recker of Delphos St. John, I do believe. Yes.
Well, I mentioned that this is a game of runs. In the third quarter, Ruschi went on a 15-2 run. Here in the current run here by Delphos St. John's, 10-3. It's all about how you're going to answer the opposing team's run.
Dane Borchers goes to the free throw line. He's had a fine game all the way around. 8 boards, 3 assists, and 15, make it 16 points.
Well, anytime you can get a double-double out of your center, that's very impressive. I mean, you know, and also you throw in the fact that he can block shots, he can change and alter shots, and very impressive player.
Count both of them. 17, and 9 of those here in the second half for Ruschi and Dane Borchers. Ruschi up by 1. 4.5 to play here in the basketball game. Again, they stick with that 2-3 zone defense. And Brian Clark tees it up. Count it 3 times.
They're going back and forth.
Brian Clark has 11 points in the basketball game, and it's a 2-point Delphos St. John lead.
We have a ball game on our hands.
Well, these two coaches both said it's, you know, the stage is Western Ohio basketball, and it just happens to be in Columbus today.
Triple team, look at that.
Oh, he was open. They backed off, and Klaus comes up with it. Nate bringing it across the timeline. Now needs help. Oh, almost a pickpocket there, and it will be last touch. Oh, it will be last touch by Delphos St. John.
And Coach Bremen is all the way down the sidelines, not happy with that call. You'll get a chance to judge for yourself. It appears that Delphos St. John's threw that ball out of bounds.
St. John's controls with 3:39 to go. Man-to-man on that out-of-bounds play, and they sag in the middle. Here's Klaus. He snuck in on the baseline. Nate Klaus, 2 in a row. He hit the 3 and now the 2.
The hang time. I mean, because right there, Dane Borcher was right there. I go back to what I said, not showing the big fella the basketball. He had the hang time. He brought it at the last moment. That's how he was able to get that ball up and in against the taller Dane Borcher.
Mike Anthony picks up his 2nd personal foul, and this is the most controversial play. Take it back. This is Klaus, baseline, and he snuck in on the baseline, and that was a design play, Ronnie.
Well, you can see the difference of this Delphos St. John team when Nate Klaus is involved in the offense.
Cadonier at the free throw line as a result of Mike Anthony's 2nd personal foul. 17 points for Cadonier, and he is 7 from 7 from the free throw line. Borchers has 17, and now Cadonier has 18 points in the basketball game to lead all scorers.
Something about those left-handed shooters.
For those of you who don't know, Ronnie Stokes made his money on the left side. Oh, that's a shot and a score. What a nice play by Keith Recker. He has 8.
A lot of contact there. Officials are allowing them to play right now.
It is a 4-point Delphos St. John lead. They have scored 6 consecutive field goals. Donier penetrating, and the rebound off to Delphos St. John. 3 on 2. And a whistle. Block.
A lot of contact. Again, the officials are allowing them to play. And the good thing about it, as long as they're consistent with that, the players can make the adaptation to it. Klaus coming right down the middle of the floor, picking his moment. The convergence there, 2 defenders, and here's one more added to the pile.
1st and 10, and I think Delphos St. John's would have the basketball or the football.
Here's the thing, Nate Klaus is the only player that does not play on the football team.
That is very true. And he's going to need a towel. And I think they'll allow him to have a towel in this situation.
160+ assists for the year for this point guard.
He is a talented player, 3rd team All-Ohio. 1st team All-MAC, the Midwest Athletic Conference.
I'm sure Brett Norris is happy that he'll have him for another year.
Yeah, only a junior and a very heady player. There is his numbers for the day. And Delphos St. John has really responded. They have scored on their last 7 possessions, now 8 possessions. 6 for 6 field goals, and now 3 and still 1 to come at the free throw line.
Well, when you look at their numbers, they average more points over the year in the fourth quarter versus any other quarter, so they're definitely a fourth quarter team.
Well, Rucci's been the team at the free throw line most of the game. 24 points for Nate Klaus. 17 of those came in the first half. Steal by Delphos St. John and their full court pressure. Mike Anthony will have it, and a timeout called from the bench, which is allowed, and Delphos St. John's will take a 30-second timeout.
Well, Brett Norris, what he wants to do is tell his team that look at the clock. We're up by 6 points. There's only 2:39 to go in the game. You want to make sure the clock is on your side. You want to take time off the game clock with every possession. You don't want to rush shots right now.
Well, this, the Ohio News Network is Ohio's 24-hour news channel. ONN is the one channel Ohioans can turn to for in-depth reporting of their news, weather, and sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. ONN is all Ohio, all the time.
Go back to that timeout call. That's one thing about good coaching, knowing your team and what you need to instruct to them. And I made the comment about Paul Bremingen making that timeout call early in the first quarter to settle his team down, and they quickly got back in the basketball game.
Delphos St. John's on the season averages right around 43%, but they have been lighting it up here in the state championship from the field.
Well, they relied on that three-point shooting there for a while. It didn't go their way, but here in the last couple of minutes or so really has helped them get themselves in this game and to take the lead.
So now Delphos St. John's double teamed this Klaus out near the mid-stripe. They're trying to see if they can work a foul here. And now the double team, and Jay Borchers is going to get called for the personal foul. That is 9 team fouls for Rucci here in the second half.
Well, you can definitely see the game plan of Delphos St. John. They are definitely taking time off the game clock, not really looking to score. But here's the key. You got to be strong with the basketball because you know Rucci's going to come with authority and try to steal that basketball.
Casey Klaus has not been to the free throw line today, and that is good. He is a 77% free throw shooter on the season, 6 points in the ball game, and he had 12 in the semis.
What's up, been all Nate and Casey Klaus here in the fourth quarter.
Casey is the senior, and count both of them. And one of the things that Brett Norris said, he wanted to leave it out all on the floor in the fourth quarter, and they are certainly doing that. Bogine missed it. He gets his own rebound, put it up too strong. Dame Borchers will be fouled. And we'll go to the line, and it is Keith Recker committing the personal foul. Recker's third.
Second and third opportunities. There's Grosjean getting the offensive rebound, and Dame Borchers, they're cleaning up after him, drawing the contact.
Shot is good. That is the 22nd free throw attempt of the basketball game for Rucci.
How can you not be impressed with Dame Borchers? Over 18 points per game. He's a 74% free throw shooter, and he shoots 63% from the field.
That is 19 points, so he's one over his average, and he has been a very impressive player here today. And Klaus breaks the pressure. 2 minutes to go. 65-59 Delphos. They are in the deep freeze mode. But you got to take care of the basketball if you're going to do this. Casey Klaus off to Mike Anthony. That's Brian Clark on the left side. And a whistle and a push. It's right in front of us. Drew Barnhorst with his second personal foul. Mike Anthony will go to the free throw line for Delphos St. John.
Well, there's a couple keys when you're looking to try to run this type of offense. A, you want to keep the ball in the middle of the floor, and then when you're in trouble, drive to the basket, because you know that the defense has got to defend the basket. And once you do that, you can find your offensive teammate on the outside. You want to keep it out of the sides and out of the corner, because that spells trouble.
Boy, Mike Anthony just laid that one in very nicely. Nothing but twine. Last year, Delphos St. John's problems in the second half stemmed from Bethel's 1-2-2 zone. And I'll tell you what, they have solved the zone of Rucci here today.
They really have.
17 for Mike Anthony. 12 consecutive free throws have been made by Delphos St. John as Borchers finds a way and finds the bucket.
Like 105 there by Borcher.
6-point game, timeout Delphos St. John. Hey, it's just 2 possessions.
A lot of time, 1:29 to go.
And you know, if you think about the 3, it changes the complexion of all the entire game of basketball and how the possessions are running. I mean, you can knock 2 down in a hurry, just like how Delphos St. John got back in the ball game with the one by Casey Klaus and the other one by Nate Klaus to give him the lead. And there you go. I mean, that's the difference of this ball game with 1:29 left. Well, if you like March Mania, tune to ONN for all your Ohio sports. Doug LaSalle's and the entire ONN sports team delivers all the thrills and the spills of Ohio sports all season long. From high school to the pros, ONN is your channel for Ohio sports. So we reset for you. 1:29 to play here in the basketball game. Division IV state final. Delphos St. John's 67-61. Delphos St. John's ran out to a big 11-2 lead, but then Russia came back to cut it to 5, 32-25 at the end of the first half. It was 48-41 Russia as they scored 21 of the 30 points in the third quarter, and now Delphos St. John's, on the strength of a 10-3 run, is back up by 6.
Well, if you're Russia, you do not have to foul right away. There's a lot of time in this basketball game, as you said, Tim, a 2-possession game, but you got to play strong defense, try to come up with the steal.
They will get the ball to a guard, and they find a way to get it across the 10-second line quickly, and a foul called. Man on the floor is Jay Borchers, his second personal foul. By the way, Delphos St. John has 2 timeouts full left in the ball game. Russia with just 1, and that's it. The 30s are gone, folks. And Russia now has 1 foul to give. I take that back, no fouls to give, and the possession arrow in favor of Russia.
Yeah, from here on out, both teams, every common foul will be shooting 2 free throws because of the double bonus.
9 for 9 at the free throw line for Delphos St. John here in the fourth quarter. They have missed 2 free throws all day, and those are the first 2 of the game. And I just jinxed them.
It happens every time.
Oh, I don't even want to think about it. 3 free throws, and that's been it. Up, steal. Mike Anthony. Ahead to Brian Clark, and
what a smart play.
Yes, it is a smart play, but then he lost it, but now a foul is called, and it'll go against Delphos St. John.
Oh my,
that's a big call.
Well, it was a smart play initially by Brian Clark to bring the ball back out, because taking the time off the clock is more important than scoring the basket, but kind of lost control of the basketball, took his eyes off of it there for a second.
And it didn't bounce quite right.
Pressure there.
And then
and the hold.
Now we're in the double bonus the rest of the way. 66 ticks left on the clock.
And that is not what Brett Norris won. The other team coming down and having an opportunity to put points on the board with the game clock stopped.
9 for Drew Barnhorst. He has 2 rebounds and also 3 assists and 2 turnovers in this ballgame in 29 minutes, but he has played a second half. I think he decided and was determined to come out and play the kind of basketball he knew how to play here in the second half, and Russia did the same thing.
Here comes that pressure.
And a foul called, and again it's Borchers with his now 3rd personal. I believe that's the foul called on him, and it took 1 second. So we'll walk to the other end. And Brian Clark, who has had such a tremendous second half, has done it in a lot of different ways with 11 points. He has really fired it in from outside. He has 60 threes on the season, but he was able to penetrate as well.
Well, he was there before Nate Klaus got his act together in the second half. Brian Clark, first team All-League, averaging just over 25 minutes per game for his team.
Well, Casey Klaus has missed his 2nd consecutive free throw, and Elsaw checks out, and back in the ball game is Cadonio. That's for Russia. 2nd free throw is good by Casey Klaus, giving 9 in the game.
I don't think he's going to miss too many down the stretch. He's a gutty player, man.
1 minute to go. Cadonio looking for the 3. Barnhorst penetrating Foul
That's an easy call to make there.
Yes, it is.
He was right there. Solid defense.
They're going to call a block.
Let the pitcher tell the tale right here. Thought he was there.
Barnhorst is going to go to the free throw line. Brett Norris not happy with that call at all because Ruschi once again gets another opportunity to cut into the lead with the clock stopped.
Missing out on a golden opportunity.
Think about this. Coming into the ball game, Barnhorst had hit 70% of his throws. Double bonus the rest of the way for both teams, and that one's good. So 11 for Barnhorst, 69-64. Breaking the press is Delphos. Klaus, and he is fouled again. So there is no question that these two teams have scouted each other extremely well.
Oh, absolutely. You're talking about the common opponents. They get a chance to look at what they have done against each other.
Grosjean is fouled out of the basketball game. Scotty fouls out with just 2 points. And he played a pretty good game, but he is out of the game now with 5 personal fouls.
That's a tough loss there for Coach Brimingen because Scotty Grosjean's a guy that's real gutty. He likes to drive and penetrate and create some things, but more importantly, defensively, especially when you're down by 5 points, you need someone like that on the floor with his quickness to try to come up with the steals.
Blue Jays at the free throw line with Casey Klaus, who has 8 points. One of the things that the Blue Jays have done this year is they've never lost back-to-back nights. Even though they've had 6 losses on the season, they really have not lost on back-to-back nights. Now, conversely, they haven't won 3 in a row, and to win the state championship, they're going to have to win their 3rd straight here. But I think it shows how well prepared Brett Norris has his ball club.
Pretty much on an even keel the whole year. Not too many, valleys. It's just been real consistent all single year.
71-64, Delphos St. John. Ruschi breaks the pressure. Danier throws up the 3. Foul called, and a player is down for Ruschi.
There's some contact and an errant elbow. He is hurting.
Yes, he is, and I don't know quite where it occurred, although it was on the rebound, and
I think it's Elsaw.
It is Elsaw. Danny Elsaw is down. He comes in and
Nate Kloss. And it was just inadvertent. Nate Kloss did not mean to do that. He was just trying to anticipate and go for the offense. That's just a defensive rebound.
So the Blue Jays will bring it the length of the floor, and as we've had here in the 4th quarter, the entire 4th quarter, it is full court pressure by Ruschi, and you don't like to see that.
No, you don't. He took a pop.
He certainly did, and he will go and be attended to, and hopefully he'll be able to return to the action.
I think there's some blood on the floor.
They'll wipe that up. 36.2 seconds left to play in this Division IV state championship game.
Well, they got to go for the steal if you're Ruschi. If you don't get the steal, you got to foul right away. You're down by 7 points. You try to go for the steal. If you don't get, you foul and hope that Delphos will miss the free throws.
And they're going to call timeout, and that's it. That is the final timeout for Delphos St. John's with 36.2 seconds to play. This telecast is presented under rights granted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other duplication of this broadcast without the express written permission of Dispatch Productions and the Ohio High School Athletic Association is strictly prohibited.
Well, they're out of timeouts, which means they got to get the ball in bounds. Ruschi's going to come with tremendous pressure. They know they need steals.
Now I'm told there's 1 timeout left for Delphos St. John.
They have 1 left.
Yeah, Ruschi has, I believe, 1 timeout as well. Right, okay. We get the timeout situated here, and that is a full timeout. No fouls to give, and the possession arrow still is with Ruschi. So that's a what is happening. That's your reset. 71-64 Delphos St. John. All Ohio all the time is all online. Visit ONNnews.com for up-to-the-minute sports scores, school closings, Ohio headlines, and much more. Recipient of the 2001 Society Professional Journalist Award for Best Website, ONNnews.com is Ohio's best source for online news. I'll tell you, I use it a lot. It is a very good site. And a foul called on the inbound, and it is against Jay Borchers one more time. And Borchers now has picked up his fifth foul. Right. That is his fifth personal foul, and he has fouled out of the basketball game with a tremendous effort today. 9 points in 26 minutes. 3 rebounds and 2 assists.
Well, the good and bad. The bad, you lose Jay Borchers. He'll go to the bench with 5 fouls, but you do make the foul without any time elapsing off the game clock.
So at the free throw line will be Nate Klaus. Jay Borchers fouls out. And the first miss by Nate Klaus here this afternoon. Keith Recker, by the way, is back in the ball game for Delphos St. John.
Now with the misses here, now Rushia's got to take advantage of it, come down and put some points on the board in a hurry.
25 points for Nate Klaus in the basketball game. 17 of those in the first half. Gadonier going to throw it up from 3 range. He just put that one on the backboard, and a whistle and a foul called.
Not quite sure what he had on his mind there. I don't know if he's trying or felt that the defense was there. He was trying to draw a foul, but not the shot that Coach Grimingen would want. You can get a better one than that.
Well, last week, Nate Klaus now has been picked as the Grange Insurance Player of the Game. 25 points, 9 field goals, 3 out of 5 from three-point range, 8 assists. He is the most valuable player for our game. Grange Insurance proud to make a $500 donation in the name of Nate Klaus to Delphos St. John's High School's General Scholarship Fund.
Very deserving.
9-point game. Wow.
An easy pick there, the way he's played here in this championship game.
26 points. He missed the second of the 2-shot foul. Gadonier is just going to throw it up, and that is no good. And out of bounds, Delphos St. John's will have to bring it the length of the floor with 19.9 seconds to go.
See, Tim, when you're down like this, you're down 9. You don't necessarily have to come down and jack up 3-pointers. Take the ball to the basket. You can get a quick score. If they don't foul, you get the quick score. If they do foul, you can go to the line. And if they do converge, you can kick it back out for a much better 3-point shot attempt.
It is settling in on the sidelines, and a foul is called in the backcourt on Kyle Gill. Brett Norris, they're starting to just emotionally let it all go, because Brett Norris and his Delphos St. John's team playing for the championship for the 3rd time here at Value City Arena, and runner-up last year. They smell it, leading 73-64. Last 10 points of the game by Delphos St. John have been at the free throw line, and Nate Klaus has missed again, but there's the starting rotation coming out of the basketball game other than Nate Klaus, because he's at the free throw line. And the Rushi players with a lot of long faces, but certainly at 24-3, they have to be extremely proud because of their best effort in 54 years at Rushi High School.
Well, you make it to this point, there's no reason to walk out with your head hanging low. But although you're very disappointed that if you should lose this basketball game, and you get here and there's no consolation in the fact you're here in the championship, you want to win. I mean, just as equally as the other team.
Nate Klaus's second free throw is good. Give him 27 points, and he will get the big bear hug from Brett Norris. And I'll tell you something, there are some happy Blue Jays. 17 seconds to go. Backups in the ball game on both sides now. There's a long 3, it's no good. Delphos St. John's comes out there with it. 5 seconds left. 4. Hands held high. Delphos St. John has swept Division 4. And just like the girls, they dive on the midcourt line here at Value Kansas City Arena. Last week, the girls did it. This week, Delphos St. John's boys team wins the championship. The third championship for Delphos St. John in their history and their 11th trip to the championship. Delphos St. John, your winner, 74-64.
I got a new job in a new city. I wanted to bank when and where it was convenient for me. Gary at National City took care of it. I've got ATMs everywhere, free checking, a Visa check card, and online banking. Gary understood me, but that's no surprise, because the people at National City don't see me like this. They see me for who I really am. I'm Brian Spencer, and my bank is National City.
Is your life 24/7? Then you need North Coast PCS. Check this out. Unlimited local wireless calling, any day, anytime for only $34.95 per month. That gives you over 43,200 anytime minutes for only $34.95. Plus, there's no credit check, no contract, no activation fee. Finally, a wireless service that makes it simple, affordable, and hassle-free. North Coast PCS. Call 1-866-GO-PCS40 today. Local service, endless possibilities.
When you're searching for an inside look to Northeast Ohio, turn to Cleveland Magazine. Along with behind-the-scene views of the stories shaping the region, each issue brings the best arts and entertainment coverage, great travel plans, wonderful ideas for your home and garden, and the hottest area events. Call today, 216-771-2833, and receive a full year of Cleveland Magazine for only $11.99. That's 70% off the newsstand price. Cleveland Magazine. Make it your magazine.
A weather forecast needs to be convenient, and it needs to keep you safe. Now, ONN gives you Doppler Net weather on the 10s, the most convenient and most advanced weather forecast in Ohio.
With Doppler Net, we tell you the precise minute a storm is going to strike your town.
Doppler Net is the only weather radar that can pinpoint a storm at street level anywhere in Ohio.
And it has the power to see inside a front to show you what's coming.
Doppler Net weather on the 10s, the most convenient and most advanced weather forecast in Ohio, only on ONN.
Delphos St. John's has avenged last year's disappointing loss in the state championship as they have won their third title here in their history. They won in '83 and they won in 1949 and now win here this afternoon. And what just a great basketball game. And I'll tell you what, Russia put on a show in the third quarter, didn't they, Ronnie?
Well, and you go back to what you say, the disappointing loss by Delphos St. John last year, almost the same thing. This year had a disappointing third quarter, but the difference this year, they came back and had a better fourth quarter, and that's why they can say they're champions this year.
Well, and I think that's a very valid point, because last year they just got totally consumed by Tip City Bethel. And this season, they had the experience and the knowledge, and the effort was there, and they laid it all out on the line. And so did this Russia team, who all of them are coming out to get their medals right now. And just a great job by the Raiders coming out of Shelby County, the fifth smallest public school in the state. Only 50 boys, 24 of them are a part of the basketball program in the top 3 grades. And you got to hand it to Paul and all his coaches, because they have done a nice job with this club. And I think he's going to miss the 6'9" young man, Dane Borchers. Dane had a great day here today. Finished with 19 points, one over his average, and I think he's going to be playing some Division I college basketball somewhere.
I think so, and deservedly so. I think he has the skill level. It's just a matter of who feels they can take him and develop him. Obviously, he needs to get stronger as he continues to get older. He's 6'8", probably not done growing, so who's to say that he might end up being 6'9", 6'10", but a great effort here by not only Dane Borcher, his teammates, Coach Bremington, to get his team here. You know, just a great season, although they finished 24-4. There's only 4 teams at this division level to say they made it here.
Now the trophy presentation.
This trophy, what a great championship game we saw today. There were no losers on this floor, only champions. Young men of Russia, you have had a remarkable season. The most in your school's history, 24 wins. A regional championship for the first time ever for Russia. A trip to the Final Four and a chance to play in the state championship game. Boys, you have a lot to be proud of. I know these people up here wearing the blue and gold are very proud of you young men. For the other people in our audience, this is the 5th smallest public high school in Ohio, and what a great team! I'm telling you, fellas, I know you're a little disappointed right now, but those people up there are very, very proud of what you've done. Now, on behalf of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, our commissioner and board of control, and all of our member schools, it's a privilege for me to present the 2002 state runner-up trophy to Russia High School. Congratulations, man.
Very deserving out of Shelby County in the Shelby County League. The Russia Raiders fall by 10 here today in the Division IV championship game, but they had quite a run. Their first time that they've ever been this far, playing for their first state championship. They had one district title. That was back in 1995. The Raiders lost to Springfield Catholic Central in the regional semifinals. And that was Jason Collier's team, if I remember correctly. And he was a very fine athlete. So Russia comes home with the runner-up trophy, and now they will present medals to all of the Blue Jays.
Well, you talking about Russia, what a great year. Finished 8th in the state in the final rankings. They defeated in the regional finals the #1 team in the state to earn the right to come here for the state finals. So a tremendous year. And you heard the announcement that the most wins in the history of the school, and to get to the regional finals and the championship game, it's just an outstanding effort, an outstanding year.
Delphos St. John's in their 11th trip wins their 3rd championship, and the 11 state tournament appearances ties them for 4th place with the most times in the Final Four. And Ken McKinley, who is in the Division I, and you know all about that, Ronnie, because you're a grad, with 25 of them leads all time, then Middletown, Portsmouth, Zanesville, and then Delphos St. John.
Well, it goes back to the tradition, the statement that Coach North said, success breeds success, the expectation of getting here, and it's very obvious when you look at 11 state tournament appearances. I mean, that's outstanding. They co-share 4th place, and just shows you what's that school's all about in their athletic program.
As the young men get their medals, I would be remiss if I didn't say that Bob Arnzen, who is the legendary Hall of Fame coach of Delphos St. John's, had a whole lot to do with the tradition of Delphos, and 676 wins in his 43 years. Took the reins back in 50, and you know the Jays won it in 49 and went to the regionals the year after that. And you know, and Arnzen credits the principal for saying, at that time, Father Ed Herr, saying that, hey, the community wants a winner, takes pride in championships, takes pride in athletics, and that is one reason why St. John's, even in the decades of tradition, is the reason why they are back where they are, state champions.
Well, academics obviously is very important, but athletics is important too, because what better way do you understand about discipline, sacrifice, understanding what it takes to win? And you can take everything that you can from the athletic field and use it in your everyday life, and hopefully these athletes will continue to do that as they move forward.
Brett Morris now finally gets a medal, and now the trophy presentation.
Delphos St. John High School.